Hey Verse, it's me the Angel Man here today to give you guys another video. Welcome back Verse to another segment of React With Me. Today Verse, we're going to be getting into the nitty gritty. Yeah, we are. I've been hearing a lot of talk Verse on a particular discussion that's been going on the podcast, Impulseive. At first I didn't necessarily care about it, but then I started hearing about the fact that Jake was on that podcast after his recent boxing fight, and he's been calling out Logan Paul on a few things. They had a bit of a disagreement, and everyone's talking about it. And I didn't necessarily watch the full podcast. As soon as I got to the particular part that they were talking about, I immediately paused it because I was like, I need to do a React With Me with this. I need to know what the hell happened. I need to know what's gonna go on. I gotta give you guys my thoughts as they're fresh in my mind. So I just need to find out what happened. Before going into the podcast itself, I want to give you guys my thoughts on the Impulsive podcast. I think it started out pretty alright, and I think it grew to a point where nobody expected it to be, where Logan Paul definitely started bringing in a lot of celebrities, a lot of people to, you know, have discussions and this and that. I love watching podcasts, whether it's Impulsive or Joe Rogan, anybody else. But then over the years, I started to realize that Logan Paul started to become more arrogant, in my opinion. He really shows it. He really plays the victim card at times when it benefits him. That's just the way how I see it at times, and I say that because of what happened with crypto. As soon as crypto happened, damn, he plummeted incredibly. His reputation went to shit. And even now, there are still lots of fans of Logan Paul, of course. I do think Logan Paul is a great entertainer, don't get me wrong. And when he's in WWE, because I'm a WWE fan, yeah, he's great to watch, but that doesn't mean that, you know, he's very likable. There's a difference between respecting your career and then respecting someone's personality, and I don't respect his personality. I think it's safe to say that all that money and fame and prime has gotten into him, like, has really shown a bit of his true colors, has gotten to his head a little bit, in my opinion, from the way how I see it. I think Impulsive definitely has gone down a notch as soon as George left after that Impulsive episode with the whole religious take. You know, if Logan didn't agree with George's religion, aka my religion, that's fine. You don't have to agree, but for you to be, you know, shiting on him, I'll be nice, make fun of someone's belief on a podcast, really go hard into it and expect there to be no consequence, yeah, you're ignorant and you're completely foolish for assuming nothing's gonna come at you after doing something like that. Despite that, he did apologize, but then crypto, it's still an issue. He still hasn't paid back people their money, yet his fiance that nobody gives a rat's ass about because he keeps bragging about it literally came out on another podcast talking about the fact he just bought a private jet. And I'm thinking, do you know how much a private jet costs? And if you could buy that shit, you couldn't pay back people their money? That doesn't make any sense. So clearly, Logan Paul is not in the best spotlight right now, right? Let me put it that way. He's not in the best terms. He still has fans, but he's not as well liked, right? Like, he's just someone you just really don't care about as much anymore. But other than that though, Verse, let's get into this heated debate between Jake Paul and Logan Paul and figure out what the hell's going on. So, with that said though, Verse, let's get to it. Let me see.
We'll see, bro, because you definitely sniped the Nate Diaz fight from me, and I've been so lenient in giving you your opponents, and I think it's.
But it's not your option to give me my opponents. You haven't fought anyone. You don't fight. You don't fight real fights. It's just not your option to give me my opponents. You're not even a fighter. Like, you do exhibitions and lost like 4 years ago. So it's not your option to like give me my fights. That me and Nate Diaz have been talking about that for years, and then you popped up and were like, no, now it's my turn, I want that fight, and then start talking shit and then
exactly
like, the fight in Saudi Arabia, like on the microphone, and like trying to like jump in on all of these things.
I absolutely agree with Jake here. I don't know where Logan has this thing where, like, you know, you gotta thank me for you getting these fights in the first place. No, in boxing, it's first come, first serve. If you want to fight somebody, reach out to them and see if you can come to an agreement, and then if you do, the fight's on. That's how it works. This is part of the reason why people don't like him as much. You know, this is the reason why, in a way, even I can't stand Logan Paul anymore, just because of the way how he acts nowadays. I'm thinking, so Jake has to give you credit for his success when he did it. And what were you doing in the meantime? You were minding your business, you kept putting prime in people's faces, and then other than prime, you kept going ahead and you were just bragging about your marriage. Like you were minding your own business and then anything else you had going on. Who would have ever thought that Jake would be more likable than Logan? That's what's so funny. At one point, everybody hated Jake, right? And everybody was like, oh, Logan's the good one, you know, like he's the more reasonable one. Look how that shit twisted. Like, yeah, right.
I think I'm better than you. and I think Nate chose you for a reason, and I think everyone knows that.
What do you mean?
Even in
But what have you done to prove that you're better than me?
I don't know. Went toe to toe 8 rounds with the greatest boxer of all time. What do you think happens if you
What?
fight Floyd Mayweather?
I would knock him out.
Bro,
100%.
don't be ridiculous. Don't be ridiculous.
You think because you lost a fight to Floyd Mayweather that you're better than me at boxing?
You said I won the fight.
In person when I was watching it, I thought so. But then, yeah, watching it back, it's like, okay, I've had like a biased point of view, like sitting there in
This is the
person.
first time I've heard you say that. You're
Yeah, but because we never talked about
You're
it.
just switching up like that?
The truth hurts, don't it? The truth hurts, huh?
And yes, I'm in the WWE currently, but I like boxing a lot, and I think I'm really good, and I'm excited I get to show it again. But I yielded, bro, and I'm tired of not being picked because you're an easier fight.
Is that what you
What?
really think in your head?
I'm Jake.
I think you. I'll say this. I think you have
That's-
more to. I think Logan. I think you have more to prove. I'm not saying you're wrong.
I don't
I'm not
disagree.
saying you're biased, unbiased, whatever. But once you sink your teeth and draw blood, put a man down, this conversation changes dramatically. It gives you and
I don't disagree with you, and that's what I fully intend to do on October 14th. You had your chance with Tommy. You did. You had it, right? I have not. I've not gotten to eat at all. You know, like I thought
Yeah,
I had
I think-
that Nate fight locked up. You took it. I said, okay, go for it. I wanted the Tommy fight.
Wait,
JJ
but I
JJ
didn't.
said he wanted it.
I didn't
said,
take
okay,
I
go
didn't
for
take
it.
a fight from you that wasn't necessarily yours. It's whoever's it's in the ethos.
First come,
People-
first serve.
motherfuckers are avoiding me. They are avoiding me or picking someone else, and that's obnoxious. And everyone secretly knows why. No one wants to say it because I have an 0-1 record and I wasn't able to knock out the best fighter of all time. But I think it's fucking obvious, bro. I'm very athletic and I've gotten the hang of boxing in the past 2 years after fighting the GOAT. And I'm excited to show that. And granted, do I still have something to prove? Absolutely. But if for whatever reason it doesn't go in KSI's favor, the story arc, the vengeance arc of avenging my business partner and brother is right there.
I
wanna eat
you
it.
just want to beat Tommy to be able to say that you're better than me at boxing.
Well, I'll never fight you, and I don't want to fight JJ again.
But I think that's more so what it's sounding like.
It is. How are you gonna say that Jake's an easier boxer when he's the one that actually did the work, right? Like that's where I raised such an eyebrow to this. You're saying Jake's an easier fight, yet he's done way more boxing fights than you. Yeah, sure, some were better than others and some were dumb, right? I think that Jake definitely fought some questionable opponents, that's for sure. I'll say that. But regardless, he still put the work in, and other than that, he won. And he even fought more interesting boxers, or even ex-MMA fighters, that people want to say that, you know, along the way. At least there were pros that were becoming more and more interesting. Jake's done way more. You can't really say that. It's like me saying, oh, I'm a better boxer than you, Jake, even though I've been doing soccer. That doesn't make any sense.
But it's crazy for you to think that people are avoiding you.
But Nate chose you over me.
Is it-
Why?
Yeah,
no,
because-
no.
but
Why
he's-
would Nate do that?
But Ariel Helwani asked him to his face. And he said because his brother hasn't fought anyone in a real fight, he hasn't knocked out any MMA fighters, he wanted the most real, professional, legitimate fight. That's what he said.
Nothing that I do in the boxing.
And that's what he
is
said,
real
and that's
or-
what he said
or
behind the
is it
scenes
professional.
too. But that's
Nothing I-
also what he said behind the scenes too.
But
That he literally said, "Hey, Nate." His manager said, "Hey, we're not fighting Logan. Nate wants this real fight." That's exactly what they said.
Because I do WWE is completely unrelated to my boxing.
There's nothing to do with that.
It just is. And people know the pay-per-view numbers I put up.
What?
They're fucking big, dude.
But you
I'm a
want
great promoter.
What pay-per-view numbers though? Like
I was just about to say.
1.2 with Floyd.
yeah, but that's Floyd.
500K
That's
with
Floyd.
KSI 2. 1.1 with
KSI 2
1.
is 300K.
Every WWE event that I'm in has been their highest grossing and most viewed. Because you are the face of at least weird like influencer crossover.
It's
boxing
deeper
arm,
than that. It's
whatever you want to call it, because you are the face of it, and I can also sell an insane fucking number of pay-per-views, and I'm not in my potential opponent's head. Wouldn't it be an easier fight to fight me, and yet they're still choosing you?
Alright, I just want to give a shout out to Mike here for being a pretty good mediator. I think he's doing a really good job of trying to diffuse the situation. You could tell he's trying, but Logan is just like a guy, like he keeps cutting people off. That's what I hated about what he did with George in that religious episode. He kept questioning George on so many aspects about his beliefs, and then when George would try to answer, Logan kept cutting him off. That's one of the fucking things I hate about when people do that. Oh, why? Well, you see, that's not why. I freaking hate them when people do that. It's like, if you want me to give you an answer, shut the fuck up and let me give you an answer so you can see what it is that I'm gonna tell you. Again, it has nothing to do with the fact that Logan does wrestling. Logan's a pretty big dude. I'm pretty sure he would definitely knock someone out if he was in the boxing ring. I can see it happen. But against Floyd Mayweather, I mean, what do you expect? I mean, if you could have done it, cool. If not, alright, it's fine. Personally, I don't really take Floyd Mayweather seriously anymore. I think he's pretty boring now. Every single time he's in a fight, whether it's against a YouTuber or a professional, he's always just coming out like nothing happened, you know? So it just kind of comes to a point where it's like there's no tension in the fight, in my opinion. There's no tension there, so.
One of them has a losing record, and he can sell the same, if not more, pay-per-views. One of them has a winning record and can sell a good amount of pay-per-views as well.
No, but I've proven to sell more pay-per-views consistently, time and time again. I'm active. I have a promotional company. We do, you know, bigger deals, huge guarantees, like a lot of revenue.
I don't buy it.
What do you mean you don't buy it?
I just don't think that.
It's more legitimate. We have a better production. We are doing it on a consistent basis. I'm active. You're inactive. You don't have the momentum in the fight world. You're not as respected as a fighter. You haven't won knockout of the year. You haven't won breakout athlete of the year. You haven't done any of these things.
That's what I'm saying. Don't you think that he would go?
No, they want the biggest fight.
So why are you talking shit?
It would be the biggest fight.
No. That's why none of these. That's why you're not.
Like one of the top 10 grossing biggest fights ever. What are you talking about? Especially now after the WWE promotion angle and the work I've been doing there. I've garnered a fan base that's going to want to see me perform in boxing as well.
Well, we're going to see
it.
But they don't
watch
think
the number.
Even when you sell on this next event, you can't even take credit for the numbers. That's the thing.
At all?
Partiality.
No. At all?
No. What do you sell? That's the okay. Cool. You did I could say I did 1.8 million with Tyson.
We may never. Wait, what?
I did 1.8 million with Tyson.
Because he was the undercard for the Tyson.
Exactly. So it's like, you could say all of these, I could say these things, boo, 8th biggest event ever, cool. Like, I've done the same thing.
Because that's
and
the way,
it's more expensive than that fight.
But because that's the way I weave my business, I am strategic with my partnerships and amplification. That's part of the shtick. I don't miss. And I won't miss when we sell pay-per-views. Ever. I'm a sick promoter. And an easier fight. Which is why I'm confused why anyone would choose you. An easier fight. I just don't get the logic.
Also, to his
You're in Jake looks bad.
Business team.
He's like, what'd you say?
Constantly.
And relationships, bro. Like, people don't like to work with your team. People hate your team.
I could say the same thing.
They hate
No, this could just be me. I think the reason why people don't want to work with Logan's team right now is because of Logan's reputation right now. That could be why. Think about it. Jake's doing fine. He's talking hella shit, but he's a boxer. You know, when you're a boxer and you're going against an opponent, what do boxers do? They talk shit to each other, right? And then after the match, you know, once they settle it, you know, they could either just hash it out like bros, or if not, then okay, I'll go my way, you go your way. We settle our beef. That's the way how it is. But with Logan right now, you know, it's not really good. You know, crypto, George, the fact that he's legally making George not speak. Jake's right. Nobody wants to work with Logan. Nobody likes his team. Nobody likes his freaking manager either, Jeff. Nobody likes that fuck, alright? He's such an asshole. I've seen a hell of people either talk to him or literally come across him, and they all say the same thing. He's kind of an asshole. Yeah, Logan's not really someone who people want to work with right now because there's just too much heat on him. I don't understand why he doesn't understand that. Just because you went up against one pro fighter doesn't make you a hardcore professional. You need to do more than that.
That's fucking ridiculous, dude. Do you think I would ever ban you from promoting any of your shit at any of my events? That's ridiculous.
Wait, that's because of who the partner, the competing partner was for the event.
Marcos texted us 4 times with stipulations listed out paragraphs.
Yeah, get over it. Like, and meanwhile, you're my brother building a business. You love to play both sides, bro.
What's the other
You
side?
play both sides.
What side am I playing?
You play both sides.
What's the other side that I'm playing?
I'll partner with all of your enemies. Like I have,
bro. My life is my life. Your life is your life. If you want to
see, you love to play both. You love to play both sides.
Yeah, he does.
I'm explaining my rationality for one
and
the
it
other.
caused issues in our last event when we had other betting partners and drink partners, and you walked out with it with the betting and the drinks.
Is it
so it
illegal
caused
to
issues.
wear what I'm wearing?
It caused issues.
Come on, it's not a. You can't tell me what to wear.
What do you mean?
Well,
what do you mean?
I'm not what to wear.
Logan.
Yeah, but if they're paying us, if they're paying us,
fucking second, chill.
if they're paying us millions of dollars, and they say, hey, but we don't want this person to be doing this stuff at the event with a competing
That's
brand.
ridiculous. I couldn't bring in a Prime bottle. DAZN, who, by the way, on the Misfits card, KSI's event, promoted the fuck out of your fight against Nate Diaz. DAZN was not allowed to promote the Prime card. That's ridiculous. He doesn't get along with anyone either.
Why would I want to promote his event? It's KSI's event.
Because I'm on it.
Yeah, but
Me
versus Dylan, but you guys weren't even announced yet.
But I'm on the card. We announced that.
Yeah, but this is the thing: is like it's all like you understand why, but then like you just don't want to accept the reality.
No, the reality is, the tables were turned. The Misfits event promoted your fight against Nate Diaz, and you refused to promote KSI's fight.
Wait, but if they want to, if the zone is on, if Misfits is on the zone and they promote our event, that has like okay, cool.
But our fight is on the zone too. And by the way, that's super fucking whack of the zone as well. It's not just you guys. I think it's lame that they yielded to whose ever request that was.
I'm not gonna promote their event. What the fuck? Why would I do that? That's stupid.
Because they did it to you. And it
yeah,
all
because I don't know why the fuck they would do that either. Because they're not good at business. They don't have that out in their fucking contract clause. Fucking idiots. That's their fucking problem. Stupid fucks. We're smart, diligent. We think of fucking everything that goes on in all of our events.
If you were really smart, you'd know that we are all doing this. But this isn't an or space; it's an and space. We don't have to be competing against each other and
no, because
the problem with this is that it's not necessarily the fact that you're competing with each other. It's the fact that you're making it about you, Logan. That's the problem. You're making it about you. Boy, it's not about you. Like, this was Jake's event. This is his thing. This is his people that he's working with, people who he did contracts with. It's not about you. If he can't bring a prime bottle in, it's a crisis. It's like, so for one match, you can't leave that shit behind for a second. It's not like you're gonna promote it on your Instagram. It's not like you're gonna promote it on your next fight. It's not like you're gonna promote it when you go in the next pay-per-view event on WWE. You promote it all the fucking time. I mean, Prime's not necessarily in the best spotlight right now, if I'm being honest, just because there is under investigation, if you know what I mean. It's kind of having some issues here and there with Prime, so I don't really know why he's making this such a big deal. I don't really know what's going on with that. I gotta actually check up on that and see if it's actually bad or if it's good now. I actually gotta really check up on that.
Your brother can't bring a Prime bottle into the stadium, and if he does, he will be escorted out by security.
You wouldn't be escorted out.
That's a contract.
You have a Prime card coming up soon. Obviously,
so why do you care so much about like?
Let me pose this question.
Why do you care? What do you care more about? Going to my event or having a Prime bottle in your hand?
I care that it was such a big deal for your team that I'm trying to build a multi-billion-dollar business, and your team, who I see every single day,
at whose event?
An issue with it.
At whose event?
Your event.
Exactly, my event.
I'm your brother.
Yeah, exactly. So respect what's going on at my event.
And I did.
Okay.
I thought it was ridiculous.
Got him there.
But that's just the name of the game. It's business.
And you have a Prime card coming up. If you walked in with a Celsius headband to it, you probably would say that's
I
unacceptable.
don't give a fuck. You're getting paid millions of dollars by Celsius. Yeah, they're our competitor, but like, dude, come on. Who signed the contract? And if they did, was there a contract that said, was I in the contract that was signed
I don't
with
know.
Celsius
I
in the
don't
zone?
know.
Because that's
I don't
fucked
know.
up. You can't sign on behalf of a third party. The way that we got text from Marcos sure sounded like someone signed a contract that said Logan Paul, if he shall come to this event, will not have Prime. You can't do that. You can't tell me what to wear. You can't tell me I'm going to be escorted out of the venue.
Yeah, they can.
Thing.
Technically, they can.
Okay, what was
I
it?
just found it crazy.
feel like I'm at my friend's house and their parents are fighting. I don't even know what, you know?
Well,
Should I go
so,
home?
bro, so what do we do? What do we do? Where do we go from this? Because like, I saw this coming.
I've been wanting to like have this conversation with you like a month ago. It just like camp and you're traveling, etc. But yeah.
Where do you think my trauma stems from?
Do you want me to be really honest?
Maybe.
I mean, I don't know, like, cause I mean we could beat around the bush, or it could just be like, I don't know if this is the right place to do it.
Yeah, I know there's fucking 20 people watching.
Well, there's more people watching right now. Also,
About to say.
Impulseive on the YouTube channel.
Yeah. Maybe it's an off-camera conversation.
Me personally, I think that Jake is aware of Logan's behavior, and I think he's trying to tell his brother, like, yo, like, you and I kind of noticed some things recently, like, what's going on? Damn, you know? And it's true. It's kind of, for the two people that are there, Mike and their other friend, I forgot that they were there. Like, they're just kind of like, uh-oh, like, we kind of came at the wrong time. You want us to come back? You know what? This is a mature conversation. I can be honest about that. It's a little not necessarily one-sided. It's just more of denial, really, in my opinion, from the way how I'm seeing him.
Always.
But that's where I get confused though of playing both sides, because you love to play the brother card when it's like convenient, but then it's like, oh, I want to go like I want like my get back at Tommy Fury, and you're like, no. I need to do my career. I've been sitting on the sideline.
Me first, yeah.
For me, like.
Does that worry you at all? That
And
this is his
then when I'm like,
space?
wait, but I'm your brother. Then you're like, no, you're not.
I do this based on balance as best as I can, because we're in a space where we're gonna overlap. There's not that many us's walking around in this combat space, right? It's me, you, KSI, maybe Tommy if he's in the conversation, but there's gonna be overlap, right? Nate was a part of the conversation for a second. You got it.
Where did Tommy come? I'm sorry to pause, but where did Tommy come from? That's my situation. Everybody is just waiting for Jake and KSI to fight. That's the whole point of this. We're building up to that fight, and there's a lot of rumor that KSI will not do it. Personally, I think KSI won't fight Jake, only because, in my personal opinion, I think he's scared. I think not necessarily scared to fight him, but necessarily scared because of the fact that if he loses after all that shit talking, KSI is gonna look like a fool. Personally, if Jake was to lose against KSI, I feel like he could handle it a lot better. I feel like he could. I mean, look at his loss. Yeah, it sucked. His win streak, went back down to 0 after like 6 or 7 wins. But look, he came back and he won his last fight. KSI, he just talks so much shit, like a lot. He has such a big mouth, and it is getting to a point where you're just kind of like, okay, well, instead of talking shit, how about you actually prove it? Like, back it up. Like, go against Jake. At one point, he was willing to fight you for free. You didn't do it. And then now all of a sudden, this whole thing with Tommy Fury coming in, I'm just like, what is it with Tommy Fury? Like, yeah, he's a cool boxer to watch, don't get me wrong, he's very powerful, not really good in speed, but in power. And when it comes down to now this boxer, Jake Paul wants to get a rematch with him, which I can see. KSI wants to fight Tommy because if he beats Tommy, then he feels like, okay, he doesn't have to fight Jake. That's what I heard. And, because he beat the guy that beat the guy he wants to beat. If that makes any sense. Now Logan wants to fight Tommy, because I just don't understand where the reason is here for Logan to want to fight Tommy. That's my question. Like where's the why? It's just, I want to fight him, but you guys are in the way. Okay, but why?
When can I fight Tommy fucking Fury, dude? Like, when can I do that? Ever?
Why though?
I just
why?
Think, like, the storyline is there. Like, we started off, like, got a contract, like, made it all happen. It's a massive event. My plan was Nate Diaz for years, and then like you kind of go away in the fight world, and then you like pop back up all of a sudden and are like, I'm ready again. But
exactly,
it's like,
yeah,
it doesn't necessarily like work like that. I guess I don't fucking know.
No, that's fair.
But I go for Tommy. Nate was already on the back burner. Boom, it just happens. The deal comes together.
You gotta go for Tyson.
It's like
I do MMA with Tyson.
Well,
just like conversations like with Floyd, like that's a fight that you got. Like, who cares? Like,
I can understand why he has defenses there. I understand it. But
yeah,
once
and
you
it's like trying to like even snipe the Tommy Fury fight like after I lost to him, like right there on the spot, versus like letting the storyline play out, like you versus KSI. You draw, boom, let it play out, let it see what happens. Like,
I mean, bro, obviously my initial instinct after that loss was like, let me avenge my brother. I don't think that's insane to think that.
Oh, then just say that.
I like that.
That's why?
I love that fight.
It's
I actually
incredible.
love
The
that
storyline is
fucking
incredible.
fight. I love that fight.
It's good. It writes itself. I get you want a rematch. I totally get it. And maybe I was a little late on Tommy. Actually, no, I wasn't, because I gave it to JJ. I was being a good fucking partner, and I'm you know, he's active, I guess. You're your own entity, and so am I, and we have a lot in common. We are also extremely fucking different. If I had a beef that ran its course with someone, and I don't want to have that beef anymore, and I actually get along and like this human, want to build something. If I grew up loving Dana White and the UFC, and I get a chance to I'm gonna take these opportunities
Because they benefit you.
and I'll always be a ride or die, no matter what. But I don't know if
Doesn't
I
sound
always
like
have
it.
to yield and bend my personal ways because we are brothers, and that's the sole reason.
But this is exactly what I'm saying. You're literally painting the picture of you are playing both sides. When
disagree.
it's
I think
convenient
you're
for
making
you,
faulty comparisons.
but when it's convenient for you, we're brothers. But then when it's not, you do the exact opposite of like, but we're completely separate. So like, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do as well.
Yep. Nope.
I'm building a business.
Oh my god.
But that's what I'm saying. You play both sides like very well, like extremely well.
I don't. To me, it doesn't feel like I'm playing both sides, and maybe
To me, it's an excuse. That's what I keep hearing. It's an excuse. It's like, but I'm doing this, and I'm trying to do that, and I'm trying to do this, and then Jake's like, I know, that's all you talk about. I've been doing this and this too, but you keep making it about you. Again, it's not always about you. That's the thing. It's not always about you. And he still doesn't get it. And it's true. Logan does a lot of things and works with a lot of people that go against Jake. And yet he expects Jake not to have a type of reaction towards it, which doesn't make any sense. Of course anybody would have a reaction.
we have different interests, we have different friends.
But then
we have
like,
different
but even
pursuits,
just 15 minutes ago, then all of a sudden you're like, but we're brothers.
and we are brothers. That sentence can end with "and we are brothers." Yes.
But where does that rank? Because
Yeah.
sometimes you let it rank down here,
I
and
think-
sometimes you want it to be number one when it's convenient for you.
when
When Prime can't go into the building, we're brothers. When you want to partner with Dana White and KSI, you're your own entity.
I think
Damn.
when we as brothers no longer become additive to each other, and it feels like you or I are trying to take from one another, and I don't believe I've ever tried to take from you, whereas you, I feel like, have tried to take from me, at least maybe not you, but maybe your team. That's when I feel
But
like it falls apart.
like this being in Netflix documentary, like millions of views, me starting the documentary saying I'm drinking Prime, me posting about Prime as soon as it launched, carrying it around everywhere with me until I got a deal.
No, and I appreciate
So it's
I
like,
appreciate
I
all
don't-
of it. But like the stadium thing rubbed me the wrong way. And but do you
Well,
get what I'm
rightfully
saying?
so, rightfully so, because if there was a number one sponsor, like let's say Nike was sponsoring the event and was like, hey, Logan's gonna be on camera, can he not wear Adidas?
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
wouldn't piss you off.
From a business standpoint, that makes sense, Logan.
It's completely reasonable, yeah.
The person that's going to get the
I-
most attention in the arena besides Jake is you showing up to
I
the
don't
fight.
want. My identity is my identity. My
Yeah, but you can-
pursuits and passions and businesses.
Well, you
my
can certainly
passions
press
and
pause on it
businesses.
for. You can certainly press pause on it for one night to just support Jake and then walk out.
Yeah,
and I understand
and
that.
and I absolutely will.
And you did.
But do you see what I'm saying?
Poor
Is
Mike trying to
anything
talk.
I'm doing hurting you.
That sometimes, yes, it causes issues because of my brand partner. Yes.
Because of your brand partner.
Yeah.
You know how many times Barstools hit me up and said, "Yo, don't fuck with Better." And even if they did, I'd say that's my brother's business. He's building it and he's trying to.
I get it. I know that they have different
Yes,
brands that
yeah.
are
Sponsoring.
sponsoring.
IP are definitely different.
I think I started this because I'm the one who brought up the Tommy stopping.
Well, you
inside.
just fucking got them through 8 months of fucking therapy. So
I know,
thanks
I know. Well, look, when it comes to the fighter thing, I think you guys both need to have that blind confidence that you're going to be the best. And if you don't have that, then you probably shouldn't be a fighter.
Yep.
You should think that if you go through a training camp and you give it your all and you're at your best, you should be able to beat anybody that's in your weight class. And that's normal. You guys should respect that about
But
That's the gist of it. Damn, a lot was said. Honestly, a lot of what I wish I could have told Logan myself if I was there. Literally, Jake did it like immediately. It makes Logan look like a hypocrite. He looks like a hypocrite here. He just looked even worse. Damn. Oh, poor Logan. I mean, as long as they got to settle their beef, that's cool. You know, it's always good as family to kind of want to settle your differences in the end of the day. Let me know what you guys think first. Are you guys on Jake's side? Are you guys on Logan's side? What do you guys have to say about the situation? Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? Do you guys have your own opinion? Let me know. I'll be happy to hear. So with that said, of course, if you like what you saw, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification for more content as always. Look forward to the next video, verse. And with that said, have an awesome day. Later, verse.